Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Sorry for the delay there, getting started here. I'll be taking a look at Lumens. I'm going to look at the USD pair first, then I'm going to take a look at the Bitcoin pair. Probably will keep this one short and sweet. There's not a whole lot to it, but before I get started, of course, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I am here just for your entertainment and for your research purposes. Nothing that I should say here should be construed as financial advice. And you're responsible for your own risk, managing your own trades, doing your own research. All right, so lumens versus the US dollar. We are exiting, and we have exited here just recently, exit out of this wedge. So it does look like we are going to continue a move to the downside after, after breaking this important trend line. So, we've got, a touch up here, and then we have another touch right here, and then we've kind of fallen over. Possible still for us to come up here and touch this one more time, this trend line that is actually acting as resistance. Possible for us to get there. But what I'm really guessing is happening here is, we moved above the 200 simple and the hourly. Now we're below it. All of our major moving averages in this range down here are currently crossed bearish. So it does lead me to believe that we are going to be seeing some more downside here. So let's just zoom out just a little bit here and take a look at this. So first things first, our algo target for this is going to be sitting right down here, about 4.6 cents, 4.5, 4.6 cents. That's the algo target. Not necessarily saying that it has to come all the way down here. It could be that we stop at like 4.8 cents or maybe even just plain old 5 cents. We could see some good rejections down there to the upside, rather. So it really would be support down here if we do happen to come down here. So what I'm kind of expecting to happen is another push up, and then we're going to kind of push down in waves, maybe down here to 4.8 cents. Technically, the algo target is going to be down here at about 4.6 cents. But then we're going to start to see, and we should start to see, a little bit of an impulsive move out of this to signify that this was the bottom. Something that a lot of people aren't a real big fan of is the fact that, Lumens had this crazy spike. And if you were on Coinbase, that this spiked all the way up to 12.5 cents or so. And if you were on the Discord, we were kind of taking advantage of this as it was occurring. But nonetheless, we fully retraced that and then some. This is the then some down here. And then we moved up. We kind of created a little bit of a double top. And if you looked on other exchanges, that was more of a double top, and it looked a little better than it does here on the Coinbase chart because of this spike. Coinbase just went crazy FOMO into this compared to other exchanges, just the lack of liquidity. So now we are inside of this formation, and we look like we're starting to break down, which leads me to believe that we are going to come down to 5 cents, maybe a little lower, down to 4.8 or 4.6 cents. So very possible that happens. I'll be waiting to see what happens if and when we get down there. I do believe we probably will break down lower, probably come back down here to these lows of 5.3 cents. But I do fully expect us to come back down here to 5 cents and likely break below that to catch some stops that are sitting at 5 cents to get these long positions down here to about 4.6 to 4.8 cents. That's what I think is going to happen. Let's take a look at Lumens versus Bitcoin. Lumens versus Bitcoin. This is the lovely trade that we were in a while back. We were taking the trade here at 762 Satoshis. We had 762, 752, and 742. Only the 762 hit. So right back here, only the 762 hit, and we were able to get out, I think, at about 835. So we got out right about up here, and then it came down, and we were talking, let me zoom in here a bit so that we can see this a little bit better. We were talking in the video that we did last, or I don't know if it was a video I did or if something we were just doing on the Discord, talking about taking a riskier trade over here at about the 800 level, 797. I did get out of this trade about 803, so this just wasn't really doing what I wanted it to do. So with fees and everything, likely that was at a loss, but it was a good stop one way or another, a good exit. I think it was it was about 797 to 798 that I got in the trade and exited about 803. So, when we had this double rejection, so we had our first rejection up here, and then we had our next rejection up here. That's when I thought to myself, well, all right, so we don't have a whole lot of steam here, so I'm going to get out. And I got out about 803, 804, somewhere in that general area. And now we look like we've come back down here. And we actually came back down here, which is interesting, to 753. So the 752, if it was still sitting there, which I've removed all the bids, it would not have hit. Not a real big swing on this, but we do look like we're starting to create the usually hyped meme here that we're having a little bit of a shoulder, head, shoulder pattern that's forming here. I'm not a fan of these, just for the record. I'm not a fan of head and shoulders or inverted head and shoulders, but if you want to play the head and shoulders game, then you're basically at your entry right now. I'm going to go ahead and remove this since this trade is come and gone. And let's focus on what this would look like if you are interested in your head and shoulders meme. So you're going to put your stop loss somewhere around right here. So we've got lots of confluence here in this area with resistance. We've got support here. We've got resistance here, and basically just carrying this straight over into where this stop loss would be. So, you'd have your layered stop loss, not layered stop loss, layered entry into the stop. So we're basically hitting that point right now where you would be wanting to enter that trade if you like head and shoulders. I'm not a fan of head and shoulders, right? So as this price is continuing to move down, I'll go ahead and move this down here and move this stop loss up. So we're talking like a 0.5%, not a real big play, nothing that I would be interested in taking. And the proper target for this, if we're targeting from this being the shoulder going to a measured move, we're looking for a technical target here at 810. That would take quite a bit to get up there, but it's a 5.4% gain. A 0.5% loss for a 5% gain. That's still 10 to 1 odds. Not that bad. It might be an interesting play, but nonetheless, if Bitcoin decides to roll over, this is going to roll over with it, unless the USD pair is strong, in which case the Bitcoin pair will go up while Bitcoin goes down. One way or another, I'm not a real big fan of this. I wouldn't play this at all. The 3-hour Stokes are looking, overbought still and moving itself down. The hourly does show there is a little bit of upside to be had. The 12-hour, lots of upside on the 12 hours. So at some point, this will be a good trade. And I still am a little interested down here in 740 to 750. But I just I'm kind of to the point where I need to just wait and see how this is going to play out. If we can overtake this here on an hourly at about 780 to 785, I might consider entering this. But right now, it's just not good enough for me. I'm not a real big fan of the way that this market looks right now. The fact that we did the full retrace on the pump that we had, I'm not a real big fan of it. It just doesn't look that great to me right now. Especially when you're looking at it from this standpoint. We're talking about this trade only coming up to about right here. At 810, we're still down here at resistance. Lots and lots of levels to pay attention to if we are to break up and out of this. So we've got that level there. We've got this level here at 1276 to 1988. And it's just so much to go through. And right now things are looking like they want to move down. The 3-hour says down, so potentially could come all the way back down here to 710, which is why I'm not interested in taking this trade again, because if we do come down here to 710, well, one, this trade was bad, and two, just stay in Bitcoin or stay in Tether, whatever that may be, to catch this down here at 710. Lots of potential if we do happen to come down here. This 12-hour likely will still be, curling upward. The 3-hour likely will have had time to reset. So, we got the trade back here, and that trade is come and gone. And now we're waiting for it to come back to us again, which likely will be lower. So we're going to take this trade at about 710. That's the trade I would be happier taking. I'll wait and see how things go. It could be that we get stopped here at about 7.25, but 710 is kind of where I'm looking. And really, I'm just kind of doing a forethought here, looking to say this is likely where I am going to be looking to enter, but not going to blindly enter any bids down here at the 710 mark. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to see what the market looks like over the next day or two. and that's when I will wait to see when, if and when I should take this position. So I'll keep you updated as the market rolls through here. But right now, it does look like downtrend on Lumens short term, and then in the long term, I do think that there is going to be more upside to Lumens. But again, that still remains to be seen. We'll track it as we go. If you have any questions, feel free to hop in the Discord and let us know. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We're looking to grow our subscription base here and spread the word. And wherever you are in the world, hopefully you're having a really fantastic day, fantastic night, evening, wherever you are.